Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Snap Material Podcast. We have returned for the new season coming up September of 2025. We're going to be talking about last season, which was Heralds of Galactus, dropped August 5th, 2025. Our first card is Galactus, 6 cost, 12 power. My Herald is the next character I see you play. End of turn, +2 power if you are winning my Herald's location. And that is if Galactus is in your hand or in play. So you got to make this doc before I did, so I'm going to let you go first here. What were your thoughts on Galactus' first steps? You run into him?
Yeah, I saw him plenty. I mean, I don't feel like he was this unstoppable force. I knew he was coming, so sometimes I would try to win that lane. And I mean, 12 points, getting +2 as often as you can, he can be pretty effective, but he's still only at one location unless you're using some Living Tribunal type stuff. I felt like he was manageable. And you did have an early warning animation like Red Hulk, so you knew he was coming.
Yeah, I don't think I played it against him very much until recently. And of course, I don't know why that was. All of a sudden, I start seeing the Herald glow in, oh my goodness, when it hits the board. But I mean, when I did see him, I saw him a lot. I started seeing him way more frequently. But regardless, I feel like I was not too worried about Galactus' first step. So it's a situation where, just like you said, it was a card that was manageable. You could be prepared for it. You're expecting the one big drop on that final turn. So that's Galactus' first steps. Then we have Silver Surfer first steps, 3 cost, 4 power, end of turn. If you're winning this location with an on-reveal card, copy its text. You go first here, because I've copied pretty much what you said.
Yeah, they did buff her to a 3/5, which is probably in line with the fact that I did not see her a whole lot. I guess I'm still a little unsure exactly how she works. Obviously, I did not get the super premium pass. If you're winning this location with an on-reveal card, copy its text. Well, so then it would change the text. So I guess you would just repeat one of your on-reveals at that location one time. Clearly, I saw her a lot.
Yeah, I did not either, man. Don't think.
Is she accompanied by an audio of someone going, "That's not the Silver Surfer"? Wow. I just went through puberty, apparently. But, yeah, I mean, for the record, I had no problem with her in the movie. Regardless, no, I did not see her a lot. She makes sense on a Surfer team, and getting to repeat an on-reveal card. We appreciate Wong, Odin, and Absorbing Man, a.k.a. the Three Amigos, for that. So, and, you know, I guess there's ways, you know, you could work it. So there's only one other on-reveal there. So with a little fighting, she could be useful, but I did not see her a whole lot. I'll certainly be trying to work her into a Surfer deck, but I did not face her.
I didn't recall seeing her very much, and even to a point where I was like, oh, what does she do again? No, I didn't even get to that point. Okay, Stardust, 4 cost, 7 power, ongoing. Cards cannot be added to locations except by playing or moving them. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I did end up with Stardust, and I found him to be not useful. At least I think it's a dude. I don't really know. I don't know how you check on that species, but I found him to be pretty useful. I experimented with a few different decks with him. One, I had him in with Air-Walker and then realized he prevents Air-Walker from doing that. There were a couple times where I wasn't thinking about what effect he would prevent. I mainly put him with guys like Thanos, Doc Ock, Gladiator, and Luna Snow, all of whom produce cards that, Luna's can be pretty useful, but it also clutters things up, and a 3/6 by itself is just fine. So I had him where he could get those points without their potential drawback.
Nice.
I mean, obviously, sometimes Doc Ock can be quite useful, especially if you pair him with Black Widow, activate her ability, and then pull that Widow's Bite right out of their hand. Yeah. And Gladiator, if he destroys the card, versus just dropping a 6 cost, 12 power there to stay. But sometimes you just want their points and don't want to gamble on the effect. So that's where I found that Stardust came in handy.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't think I saw this card at all. Maybe once or twice. Not much of an impact, in my opinion. There are way too many cards getting released in a season now. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We just went through these first 3. One was a super premium card, so somebody's got to spend money to get that.
Although that's a thing of the past now.
Did they get rid of it?
They did.
Good. Well, regardless, I think there's just so many cards that you're not going to run into these things as much as you would think. Everybody's saving up for the one that they think is going to make the most impact, and all these other ones are kind of falling to the wayside. Stardust, in my opinion, had really limited, like a limited scope of what it could do. So I was like, well, you really, really need to want that card. And I just couldn't find a deck that would make it be super useful. So I think a lot of people looked at it the same way and just didn't get it. So there you go, Stardust. And this next one's the same. Another thing I think that suffers the same fate, and that's Redshift. 2 cost, 3 power, on reveal. Discard the leftmost card in your hand to add a random card with the same cost to your hand. I don't think I saw this card at all. What were your thoughts?
Well, I call him the Herald of Agatha because that's who he belongs in a deck with.
Yeah.
Even more of a sure thing than Moon Knight or Lady Sif. I brought that deck back. Somebody I saw on Reddit hit Infinite playing an Agatha deck, and I believe Redshift was in it. So wow. I tried that out. I did not hit Infinite, but I did have some fun with it. Agatha always starts in your hand, is always on the left unless some effect generates her. As much as I try to go with odd-numbered cards or no 6 costs, every now and then Moon Knight or even Lady Sif can take out the wrong person. But if you want to get rid of Agatha, Redshift's your guy.
All right.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think I've said this before. I kind of like the idea that not everybody has all the same cards. That might mix things up a little bit in the meta. I could be wrong. You're going to have people who grind away and get everything because that's what they want to do, and more power to them. But I kind of like the fact that I don't know exactly which card I'm getting. I mean, if I want to save those extra 1,000 tokens, I can get it, but there's a few different ones out there. I've had my eye on an end of turn deck, but I still haven't gotten Torch First Steps or the Fantasticar. So I've just been trying other stuff. Right. I'm always surprised. I'm like, another one. But at the same time, I kind of like that you don't necessarily know exactly what you're going to be seeing. So I think it could be a positive. I guess we'll see how it goes.
I agree with you. I understand the more variety we get, the better it's going to. I think the more, what's the best word? The more chances you are to hopefully, as long as they're not messing with the algorithm or doing what they say they've never done in the past, which is, purposely match you up with, they have some kind of matchmaking system so that you are always going to be facing, somebody that has anti-destroy deck against your destroy deck at some point. As long as they're not doing that, then yes, this is a good thing. Then because people are going to have all sorts of different decks with different cards in them, and adding more of them during the season just makes that pool of cards that much bigger, and pool of decks that you're going to face that much wider as well.
If you have one card or one archetype that's just dominating everything and you don't get it and other people do, that can definitely be frustrating. But if it's balanced, I kind of like it. I haven't really found any overwhelming strategy that's gotten me very far on anything, but I'm still having fun.
All right, well, next up, Terrax, the Tamer, 3 cost, 4 power, on reveal. For each location, shuffle a rock into the losing player's deck. What are your thoughts here about Terrax?
Well, I immediately said he needs to team up with Korg and Rockslide and Darkhawk. And he does work in there, but he's not going to dislodge any of those guys. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I mean, of that quartet, he's probably the Ringo. I don't know.
Ringo the Tamer.
Far more talented musician than I would ever be.
Terrax the drummer.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of, or maybe it's more like this. The original Three Stooges are Darkhawk, Korg, and Rockslide. So you know who that makes Terrax.
That's Shemp.
There you go. So, yeah, he used him in there. I've tried him in a few things. I don't know. Like I said, just not getting a lot of traction with different things. But, I mean, it's Terrax. He controls Earth, ground, whatever. He's not from Earth, but he flies around on rocks. It's a very fitting thing. He goes right along with the rock theme.
I don't like, unless there's an advantage of it being a 3-4, which I really don't think that's an argument. I think having an ability or power and on reveal that works against the player, that I don't like that unless you take it into account somehow, which I imagine you can. But again, who wants to draw a rock? Not me. So you better be winning it. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
I keep messing around in my head and then forgetting before I fully flesh it out. But I keep thinking he would work well with Strange Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could dump rocks on your opponent or feed Strange. So I keep wanting to do something like that, but then I put an extra 3 cost in there, and then I'm like, no, Surfer deck.
Off you go.
Yeah. So but I mean that's the thing on some of these is like, Stardust. I see the potential, but I haven't quite figured it out. Terex, I'm like, maybe there's more to him. So that's kind of cool that they're making you think, and it's not just an obvious overpowering combo.
All right, next up, Frankie Raye Nova, 2 cost, 3 power. After the next time you play a 6 cost card, double this card's power. I remember thinking about getting this card, decided not to. I saw a Reddit post where somebody was like, they thought it was a useless card, and then they came back on and to apologize and say that they were wrong. They said it was a really good card because they were doubters at first. I didn't get this card. I haven't seen it played against me a whole lot. Did you have any thoughts on Frankie Raye Nova?
I got her, not necessarily targeting her, just opened a Season Series 5 pack, and I tried her a couple times. I think it was in conjunction with Nick Fury in a Collectosaur deck. But yeah, I couldn't. I can see you definitely don't want to just boost her from a 3 to a 6. I mean, that's not that big a deal. Heck, you could play Zero and Lizard. But I think at one point I was thinking she would double multiple times, but it's just the one. So.
Yeah, I think that's what we were thinking last time, because I ran through a whole scenario where I was like, okay, turn 4, you get out a 6 cost. Turn 5, or because you played What's-Her-Face, Wave. And then I was like, oh, okay, and then turn 5, another 6, somehow try and get a 6 cost.
I mean, yeah, there's ways you could boost her up. You could do some shenanigans like with the cloning vats and things like that, Forge or Galacta, Gwenpool. There's ways to do it. The juice didn't seem worth the squeeze, if I'm using that correctly. I just didn't try a lot with her.
All right, this is one I did.
Although there's some cards in the next season coming up where I think she could be an interesting pairing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the Fallen One, 5 cost, 5 power. On reveal, set your max energy equal to this card's power. Now, this is one that I did get. I really tried to make him work. My initial plan was, okay, I want to get a Shuri deck.
Oh, yeah.
Shuri, double it up. Now you've got 10 energy for your last turn. And if you get magic out there, then great. My favorite interaction was a situation where, oh my goodness, what is the one that doubles everybody's power? Is that Shuri's Lab?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Fallen One got upped a good bit, and I had other cards in there to juice the power while Fallen One was in my hand, such as like Gwenpool or something like that. So I was trying to get it juiced before I laid it out. I had a great interaction where I laid it out for sure in Shuri's Lab. And I probably had Shuri laid there as well. So Shuri doubled it, and then it doubled again, and I had like 20 energy for turn 6 and turn 7. That's great. You're going to play all your cards probably on turn 6 unless you're sitting there waiting. And then
hopefully you got Sunspot in there.
Yeah, you're trying to get so much to work together that you got to have 3 or 4 cards work together.
Yeah.
If one of them cards drop out, the whole thing falls apart. That's kind of what I felt with Fallen One. Like, I had it in there, and what am I going to do? Play it on turn 5 and then have 5 energy on turn 6?
I've seen that happen to people a couple times.
Not a fan. There was something that I tried that I realized did not work. What was it? I cannot remember. I just remember I ended up really hurting myself by bringing Fallen One's power down instead of going up. And I was like, okay, this is going to work, and it did not work. I wish I would know what it was. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was going to be good. I'll have 10 energy every single time, and I'll be able to do whatever. Now, you got to be able to do something on turn 6 with your 10 energy. So, anyway, go ahead.
Well, I did not end up with him, but at least you understood how he worked. For some reason, I was thinking he was ongoing. So I was like, oh, yeah, you could just keep building it up as if you could get him out for that many turns anyway.
That's what it was. That's what I learned. because I was like, oh, you put him out there, and because I put this whole deck together where I was like, I'll get him out there, and half my deck was boosting him up in my hand, and the other half was boosting him up with Ironheart and stuff like that while he's out in play. I was like, oh, that's not how that works. Okay.
He's another one that I think there's potential here. We can work something out with him. Maybe with, although this still has to have a lot of things break your way, but what about in a deck with Morgan Le Fay?
And she is one that brings cards back?
She brings him back, and doesn't she give him like +2 power?
Plus
so maybe you discard him, and she brings him back. Okay. And then he's got +3, so maybe you got 8, and then she brought extra cards back. So she could maybe boost him up and give you more room to play the cards she brings back. I don't know. He's one that, again, it's not like, well, you do this and win every time. But I feel like there's something cool to be figured out with him.
All right. And as we get into the last of the release cards here, Cosmic Ghost Rider, 5 cost, 7 power, on reveal. Remove the text from front row enemy cards here. Oh, man, did I want to get this card. I really, really did. And there were some times where I was like, oh, I want to... And then I saw a Reddit post where people were asking about, like, okay, how is he? And they were like, I mean, he's okay against certain decks. In other decks, he's not going to make much of an impact anyway. They said Grisham is great to have him in there because you can get him down to a 4 cost and maybe play him a little earlier, which might help some things. But I decided against it. I held off and I didn't spend my money. So did you run into Cosmic Ghost Rider at all?
Only a couple times. I don't remember him turning the tide very much, but to me, he seems like a more expensive, but also a little wider ranging Red Guardian. Obviously, initially, his power is based on the storyline where Galactus made Ghost Rider Punisher his herald to defeat Captain Carter. That may not have happened. But I mean, yeah, that's the first thing I thought, like, well, haha, Captain Carter. But I mean, I still use Captain Carter occasionally, but it's not like she was a card we were clamoring for a counter for. He's another one. I like what he does, but I haven't seen him in action very much. So yeah, he wasn't a must get for me. I may have opened a Series 5 pack, and that's when I got Stardust. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, plus I just like when they mash 2 characters together. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him being useful, but I get the Arishem thing because with 5 cost, he's not necessarily going to get out there in time to take some of them down. But he could again throw a wrench on Agent Carter. If Galacta's on the front row, it'd be good to remove that. Luke Cage a lot of times is going to be on your front row, so that could really ruin someone's day. They're like, oh, I got Luke Cage, here comes. But wait, Long's usually a front row guy.
Right.
So yeah, I could see him being useful, but I have not seen him a whole lot.
Same here. All right. Now we get into we got a couple cards here that what was this, through High Voltage? Is that what this was? Was it High Voltage that was being played? Air-Walker, 3 cost, 3 power. When this is destroyed, replace it with a 4 cost card from your hand or deck. A Reddit post I saw said, I got him, now what?
Yep.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is the combo I came up with before. Like, you want some high-powered 4 costers in your hand and, get him destroyed. So in a destroy deck somehow. Who's a 4 cost destroy? Anybody?
Yeah, well, let me tell you how I saw him used.
All right, let me hear it.
I wasn't trying to cut you off. I forget how I first used him, but then I saw somebody use this combo, and I was like, I've got to try. They played Air-Walker, destroyed him, and he pulled in Phoenix Force.
Okay.
And resurrected himself. And then they destroyed him again, and he pulled in Firelord, resurrected himself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure how effective that is. I tried it, and I'm not sure if I ever quite duplicated it, but it was pretty cool. It's kind of that Jurassic Park thing. You were so obsessed with the idea that you could do it, you didn't stop to ask if you could.
Right.
Like, it's really cool. I'm not sure how effective it is, but I know, what did I try with him? I cycled through a bunch of different decks. I tried some 410s like Cull Obsidian. I think at one point I tried to combine him And I put Stardust in there because he's a 4 cost, and then put Doc Ock in. So if Air-Walker pulled in Doc Ock wouldn't pull one of their cards in. Again, I think his effect sounds cooler than what it actually is, but it also kind of feels like there's something there. I just got to figure out the right way to do it. Kudos to that guy for the Air-Walker Phoenix Force Firelord chain. I'm just not sure how great it is. So that's why I loaded up on 4 costs. But yeah, maybe the way to go is with exactly 1 card so you know what's going to happen when you destroy him.
Right. All right. Well, there you go. Any other thoughts on Air-Walker before we get to the last one here?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not quite sure what to do with him, but I feel like there's something more than what I've unlocked here.
Yeah. Well, the next one you kind of mentioned already, Firelord, 4 cost, 6 power. On reveal, revive one of your discarded or destroyed 3 cost cards here. I don't think I saw Firelord very much at all. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I got him. I don't know if I ever actually tried the Phoenix Force combo, but I did put him in with Air-Walker. I think I tried a Surfer deck with him, but I just wasn't really getting much traction. I deleted it pretty quickly. So he's another one that I feel like there's more to it. That's a common theme. Maybe I just didn't get very creative this time. I like most of these cards, but I found myself going back to a lot of tried and true decks when I wanted to make a run for that 500 gold at 90.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right, location. The 7th Cosmos, replace all locations. I did not get a chance to play when either of these showed up, so I don't know if you really ran into anything with the 7th Cosmos while you were playing. I think I played a couple, but you basically cannot plan on anything when that thing drops.
You can't Legion it.
No, you cannot.
It's a neat idea. The first time I saw it, I was half paying attention, so I had no idea what was happening on the screen when I looked back. But yeah, it appears, and then it changes them all at once. So if it's your first or second one, it just basically reveals the locations early. It does change any that have already been revealed. Unless it's the third one, it basically just gives you the locations earlier.
Yeah.
More than anything else. But it is interesting. It can throw a wrinkle into things. It's a cool idea, but I don't know. It didn't do a whole lot for me. I was just like, oh, okay, so these are the locations now.
Okay. Then we have Zenla. Add a 3-cost card from your deck here. If you're playing Surfer that day, then you're probably happy. Some of your 3-cost cards are getting out there without you even having to play them.
Yeah, unless it's Surfer.
Unless it's a Surfer. Then you might be a little upset.
I was looking at this, I was like, there were a couple days I didn't play much. Did I miss this one? Because I could have sworn I remembered seeing it, but I don't remember anything happening. I did have it happen today, and I don't remember what card it pulled. I mean, it's just a variation. Some of those cards, or Grand Central Station, some of them you like them putting an extra card out there for you, and other times it's like, why that one?
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted cards to be played where I'd rather they not be, I would have just made an Agatha deck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not a Zenla, all bets are off now, but it can throw in a fun or a frustrating wrinkle.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Heralds of Galactus dropped August 5th of 2025. That's our discussion and what we thought of the season. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.